All right, I want to first say something. Our thoughts and prayers to Ron and Claire Rishlack, who tragically lost a son this week, and then the service was today. And so he's had major impact on so many students and faculty at the university for a long time. So our thoughts and prayers first off this whole week and today, and continued through Ole Miss for their family. I thought that, this was a really hard week. Switching back to football, this was a really hard week of that loss. I felt really bad, probably the worst feeling after a loss in the most amount of days since we've been here in a game. So our fans will be mad because we lost an 8-4 once, but it just was like we just handed that thing away in so many ways, and just so not what we thought we were going to play like. And so our guys battled this week, and they battled through that, so they didn't let it affect in a second game. And so anytime the game's that 24-point game that we fumble going in and miss some other wide open people, that means a lot of people are doing right. And so I'm really pleased with our players that they came back, because I've said before, you can win a one-score game, the ball goes in or out on a kick and something, but when you come in on the road to a really hard place against a team that really was going up 2 scores to be undefeated, and gets a fluke penalty against LSU, or that's probably the 10th ranked team in the country undefeated that we just played. So really proud of our coaches, players, and how they showed up today.
Questions? Like a couple of big momentum plays there early with the fake punt and then Robbie Ashford's fumble. I know it was really early in the game, but just how important was it for you guys to capitalize on those mistakes?
I'm gonna check one of you guys' phone. It seems like that was about 5 hours ago when that happened. It was really good, and credit to our special teams and defense. And we had a feeling they'd fake a punt today, and we had some different. We played a lot of punt safe where you saw Walter rushing and stuff like that, just to be safe in the first part of the season. So thought they might do something like that and run inside. So really glad that our coaches did good and then the players made the plays. That was big momentum, and so I just thought it was a really clean game for the most part, especially how he had been. We've been the most penalized defense in America through 5 games. So it's exciting when the players respond to what we spent all week harping on, and they did a really good job right from the beginning. That's a really good defensive performance there against 2 quarterbacks that are tough sometimes, because even when you cover people, they're hard to catch.
Speaking of defense, with Preston Hall Miller being out and then Washington Terry and Perkins get 11 tackles, just what's impressed you the most about his outing?
I just love when a kid, fights through and everybody wants to leave, and especially when they're a highly recruited kid, because everything's not going their way early, and he just keeps working. And so it was awesome for him to get a big-time chance today and make plays. And for our team, the left tackle was out, and Princely was out, so guys stepped up. With some guys hurt, which is awesome. And then Trey Harris, the best receiver most productive receiver in the country, didn't come back to play for the whole second half. So really good job by guys stepping up.
What makes Big E so reliable for you down by the goal line?
He's just so unique. He can run really well. He's got great feet for 300 pounds. And so we've done that stuff all off season. Preparing for goal line, short yard situations, and utilizing our team, getting outside the box. We don't have big running backs. So, we had one, now we don't, so we found one. He was just on the D-line. So he's just really unique and really special. And actually his touchdown before half there, we actually put that play in. So it says a lot about him that we could install a play with a D-lineman, a misdirection play, and then he could execute it at quarterback.
What did you think about your offense without Trey, and how worrisome is his injury as of right now?
I thought we were big little. And again, Juice obviously shouldn't switch hands, where we're talking about a different score and 2 different double moves that Jackson misses that, we took advantage of what they were doing. So I thought it got a little hit and miss, got a little big little because of that. And those guys have really good players. Those are 2 really unique ends. That freshman's going to be a phenomenal player. He is a phenomenal player. So those guys give you problems, especially in the stadium, because they're pass rush in the style that they play in.
Lane, one of the better games Jackson run the ball today, averaged over 5 yards a carry. Was those design runs or those option runs that he were able to do? So.
Well, they weren't scrambles, so they were, there's some are called runs, like he makes a couple that are big conversions that are late to keep that drive, which is really good. I didn't want to, even though it was 3 scores, defense had played a lot, and we'd had the backed up, we were at 3 and out, so just was really trying to, use up all the clock and get out of here with the win. And Jackson made some good runs in those. So a lot of those were called runs or because they're playing the running back and he's got to pull it.
Jackson drew 4 or 5 offsides penalties from them today. With how aggressive those ends are, how important was his cadence and switching things up?
It's just he didn't have a cadence, he just claps, so it ain't like the old days. It's not that hard, you can do it. Just clap, there you go. But it was a big part of the plan just because they do a great job. They uniquely rush, and even the way the stance. It's always an old guy. And then they can't figure out the phone either.
Walter had 2 sacks today. Just what does it do for your defense when the defensive tackle is so disruptive like it was today?
We finished in that. They do have a unique, and that was a big part of the plan because we couldn't even double clap sometimes because we couldn't let them get off because they're so wide and they give tackles a lot of problems. LSU left tackles great, and he had problems at times. So that was a big part of the plan. Even when it doesn't work, it just makes them slow down their twitch. So classic. Wouldn't have guessed that.
Questions?
Taking on Walter Norman.
Yeah, about Walter. 2 sacks. What does it do when the DT specifically is so disruptive?
Yeah, I thought Walter was really good today. I mean, they hold him a lot every week, and they were holding him today. And we got our holdings fixed on defense, and I keep telling the refs, okay, well, we're fixing ours, but then they keep holding our D linemen, especially Walter. But just was proud of him because talked to him a lot about it's gonna be a long game, it's a hot game, you're gonna play a lot, and just like a fighter, just go out there, don't waste a lot of energy between rounds. And I thought he did a really good job. You would see these massive celebrations and all that, and just I told the guys, expect to make plays. Kind of last week, every time we made a play, we had to have celebration of the year. So just expect to make plays. Watch our offense. We don't celebrate first down. You can celebrate a touchdown, but that's it. So I was proud of the way Walter played.
Lane, specifically early, it was really loud, and this was one of the first games in which in-home communication could have been a big deal on the road. How was it today, and what did you feel? Was it a pro or a con, or what were your thoughts?
Well, I thought we kind of took them out with the game going our direction. And obviously, with halftime, a number of people left, so that really wasn't an issue ever in the second half. So I thought our guys did it, and I think when we make first downs, it's kind of hard for the crowd noise to be a major impact against this system. Tennessee's the same way. When you go on the road, you can make some first downs. You play so fast that I say the crowd doesn't kind of know when to cheer. It's not the traditional okay, well, they walk to the line and then they snap the ball. So now if you don't make first downs, it becomes a problem. But I thought that our guys did a good job with it today.
You guys are pretty beat up. Got one more game before an open date. It's obviously a huge game at LSU. Just kind of, how would you assess just sort of the health of your team right now?
How many timeouts does Alabama have? one left.
They had all 3 a few minutes ago.
We have 1 left. We're on 18. All right. Sorry.
It's all right.
I mean, this is a once in a lifetime
I understand.
thing going on. Better watch. You're not going to see it probably ever again. What's your question?
Just about the overall health of your team halfway through a season, big game at LSU coming up.
Yeah, another team we're going to get off of a bye, so we are. The left tackle didn't play today. Princely didn't play the right end. So that's good job of guys stepping up and good job of developing depth. But we're going to get another team coming off of a bye, so which I know it'll make a big deal. I think it's overrated. And analytics show that your win percentage after buys is not. You can't really prove much to it. So it is what it is.
Any other questions for Coach?